council meeting of Tuesday, August 13th. Could we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Write it over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
A quorum is present.
Any persons wishing to address the City Council on any item on today's agenda may do so at this time.
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Joseph Texera, District 1. I want to address H1, the warrant register, specifically check number 540502 to the Inglewood Today newspaper for what it looks like about 5 items totaling about $1,700, and check number 540299, 2 items for a total of about $1,400 for a total of about $2,200. I mentioned at an earlier meeting that I'd hoped that this City Council had some ethical standards for who we give hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars to and who the city does business with. And I would hope that we don't give money to free newspapers run by hate groups or organizations who want to overthrow the country. Are we going to go to Bernie Madoff and ask for financial advice just because he's got a lot of time on his hands and he'll work for free? Then why do we do business with Willie Brown and Inglewood Today, when it is a documented fact that Inglewood Today and Willie Brown hides important issues from their readers and uses taxpayer dollars that this council gives to them to deceive, lie to, and manipulate those very same taxpayers? Willie Brown, publisher of Inglewood Today, is a documented liar. He has lied to his readers in his paper, and he has lied to the public and this council here in these chambers. If any councilman or any member of the public doubt it, all you have to do is type in liar for hire, comma, Willie Brown into the internet, either Google or YouTube. Again, that's liar for hire, comma, Willie Brown on the internet. And this council and the public will not only be able to see the truth about the dishonest story that Willie Brown repeatedly lied about in his paper and here, but you will also be able to go down the list of Brown's many documented deceptions and lies and see just how dishonest, deceptive, and unethical the actions of Brown and his paper have been. This clearly proves that Willie Brown is a documented liar, a professional liar, a liar for hire, a fraud posing as a journalist. And this city council and this city clerk, who claim she believes in God, cannot ethically give money to someone that you know will take that money and use it to lie to and mislead and manipulate Inglewood's residents, just because you know he'll hide the problems in the city and you don't want the public to know what's going on this council.
Any other public comment?
Good evening, council, staff, and to the public, those of us who live here and pay the bills. You know, I want to say to you then to begin with that lately you've been missing a lot of meetings, you know, all of you. You know, I don't know why or what, but, you know, I believe that, you know, as I've said before, that, you know, you're overpaid anyway, and then for you not to come in here and be here for the meetings to inform the public, I think it's wrong. So maybe you guys can find the time to be timely with your meetings. On this DR1, I noticed when it came up that you have a lot of signs out there suggesting to people who might need Section 8 housing that don't even bother to come up because we don't have the money. But, you know, it's my concern that with regard to the senior housing, you know, you've given this developer, Gwen Pugh, as much as $958,000, that's almost $1 million of Section 8 housing money, you know, that could have gone to some of those people who might have wanted housing or needed housing, but you've given it to a developer and you keep putting this senior housing thing off and off and off, you know. Nothing really is done but a whole lot of meetings. And it's time that you begin to do something for the seniors, that you begin to interact and do something for the public here, you know, other than shine things on. Like I say, you guys are all getting your monies, you know, but there are a lot of people out there in need. And for us to just give money away and really have nothing positive happen, I think it's wrong. So those are my comments for now. Thank you.
Now, Gil Matthew, District 4, Mayor and City Council. On payment of the bills, are you paying Red Flex $89,400? Half the lights don't work. And it's kind of coincidental that each time Red Flex is billing you for 1,000 tickets. It may be coincidental, but they're always at 1,000. Most cities have got rid of it, just simply breached the contract or whatever it was. And you continually pay them. Most cities don't even honor Red Flex with their lights. San Diego recently canceled the contract as soon as the mayor was elected. So I'm wondering what's wrong with you. And the check number is 540345. And I've said before that it's cheaper to breach the contract and go to litigation because even in the courts don't honor the Red Flex cameras. So you're not getting paid. And you don't know how much money you're losing because it's tied in with the traffic tickets. It's never been separated. And it's never been paid. It's been a burden to the general fund. And just do analysis on it. You have been taken for a ride. So I would say breach the contract and sue them. The lights don't work. On DR1, I would request an oral report. We have a senior crisis in the city of Inglewood. Now, you won't level with the seniors. You have a lot over there. It won't be finished in 2016 at best, and that depends on how the Department of Finance allow you to use redevelopment money, or successor agency money. I'm telling you guys, I'm urging you. You have a responsibility as directors of this city. And there is state law that if you don't do your fiduciary duty, you can be challenged and sent to jail for not being prudent. So I would require you to just check and ask questions. I consider myself prudent. I'm asking questions, and you guys are solid. And you have information. I get mine off the internet.
Good evening, council members. My name is Diane Sombrano, and I am going to have to piggyback with what was just stated. You know, the Red Flex is such an interesting adventure. I came up to the crosswalk at 104th and Crenshaw, stopped, and then the light went off and took my picture. I guess you're not supposed to stop some of the time and maybe occasionally. I don't know. Best not get a bill for that because, you know, I don't shop in Inglewood because, well, first of all, there's nothing to buy here. But second of all, I told you if you didn't fix them, I wouldn't because you already got the $600 for the last time it went off when it should not have. And our judge over here couldn't care less what anyone says or sees. He figures if you already gave him the money, it's his to keep. So, silly me, I accidentally forgot to go back down Yukon, but I won't do that again. And you're gonna make it wider for Hollywood Park anyway, won't you? Nice thoroughfare. With regard to item DR1, you know, we have spent so much money on the senior center, and now we're gonna do that project management stuff. That's the same thing we did over at the school district. Guess what? It didn't do so well for them, did it? That's why they're in the kind of mess they're in. Really same kind of thing, and if I'm not mistaken, kind of like the same arrangement completely. So they were spending and spending and spending, and they got an oversight guy and kept spending and spending and spending. Thank goodness now I think we have hope. But that's after we got taken over by the state, and it's not a pretty picture over there. With regards to, of course, Hollywood Park tomorrow, one of my favorite things, isn't it? Really? Are you kidding? Really? Let me see. We listened to how swap meets are horrid, dreadful, rotten, disgusting. We had to sit here and listen to the whole concept of every other business that wanted to come into town couldn't because it was awful, dreadful, horrible, and disgusting. And now Hollywood Park gets to do every last one of them. Have you noticed the signs? Flea market and swap meet every weekend. Used car sales. And what did the residents of this community rally about? Say no more, say we've had enough. Wait a minute, the only other thing we didn't say? That's the other item. The beauty shop thing, it's on here too. Beauty shops, swap meets, flea markets. Oh, what, no cash checking places? This is a great agenda, isn't it?
We close public comment. Item 1, CSA 2 and H1.
Warrant register, move or allow for payment of the bills.
Move allow payment. Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dodson. Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. Madam Clerk, what's the next scheduled matter?
The next scheduled matter is a public hearing to consider adoption of a resolution findings of the city to be in conformance with the Los Angeles County Congestion Management Program and adoption of adoption the 2013 Local Development Report.
Has notice of this hearing been given in the time, form, and manner as required by law, and do you have the affidavit on file?
Notice has been given and affidavit is on file.
Have any communications been received on the matter?
No communications have been received.
Mr. City Manager, is there a staff report on the matter?
Yes, Mr. Lewis Atwell will give the staff report, Public Works Director.
Mr. Atwell, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me tonight. Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. The item you have before you is a recommendation to adopt a resolution finding the city to be in conformance with the Los Angeles County Congestion Management Program and adopting the 2013 Local Development Report. The state of California requires counties to prepare and implement congestion management programs, a responsibility administered by Metropolitan Transit Authority for Los Angeles County. The purpose of the CMP is to link local land use decisions with their impacts on regional transportation and air quality to develop a partnership among transportation decision makers on devising appropriate transportation solutions that include all modes of travel. The CMP conformance procedures require annual adoption by local jurisdictions of a local development report and adoption of a resolution self-certifying conformance with the CMP after holding a public hearing. Each year, every city in LA County is required to submit an LDR to the MTA in an electronic format provided by the MTA. The LDR is essentially a statistical reporting of the year's construction activity and is not in written text. The LDR includes information reporting building permit activity for the 12-month period from June 1, 2012 through May 31, 2013. All building permits issued must be tracked by type and the resulting number of new dwelling units or new gross square footage. The Transportation Demand Management Ordinance is included in the Inglewood Municipal Code in sections 10-149 through 10-154, and the CMP Land Use Analysis Program is provided in Code Section 12-103. The attached resolution is prepared in the format requested by the MTA and states that the city is in conformance with the CMP and will continue to remain in compliance. CMP conformance procedures require submission of the LDR and resolution by September 1st, 2013. After the public hearing is conducted, adoption of the attached resolution is recommended. This concludes my report.
Are there any persons present who wish to address the council on this matter? Hearing no comment, the public comment portion is now closed. Move 1 and 2.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. Consent calendar, pull item 2, move approval of items 3 through 8.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dodson, Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. Item 2.
Approval of the minutes held for the meeting on March 28th, April 9th, and April 16th, 2013.
Move approval. Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dodson, Padilla,
Abstain.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. SPH 1.
Staff report requesting that a public hearing be set to consider an appeal to the Planning Commission denial of a special use permit 1180 to allow the operation of a beauty salon that is within 300 feet of a similar use in approximately 1,020 square feet building on a C2 General Commercial Zone property at 1120 North La Brea Avenue.
Set the public hearing for August 27th, 2013 at 7 p.m. DR 1.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution amending the fiscal year 2012-13 budget to allocate $10,000 to fund the Locust Street Senior Center development activities.
Move approval. Second.
Madam City
Staff report.
Staff report.
Mayor and council members, the item before you requests a budget amendment to place funds into the into the Senior Center Development or Project Development account. We are looking at moving funds from the Section 108 CDBG account into the expenditure account for the Senior Center. I should make it clear that this is, Section 108 is not Section 8. It can only be used for economic development or development type projects. It's a different kind of fund than Section 8. It is not eligible at all for housing uses at all. This is, currently, we have started the Senior Center development process. We did hire someone a month ago to get us started on doing the design standards for the RFP for our design build process. And this person, Gordon Anderson, does advise us does provide advisement services for design build process, for the design build process. And he will be involved in this process into this coming month. So we ask for this budget amendment.
Comment, Mayor.
Excuse me?
Comment.
Comment.
So, thank you very much. Mayor, I just asked that item to be, to had a staff report because there were comments made by the public that was misinforming the public that's not here. And so I wanted to put that on the record that the funds in question were not the ones that the public was addressing at the podium. So I so moved. Thank you.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR 2.
Staff report recommending approval of agreement to provide on-call consultant services for the plan reviews and inspections during the 3-year term for work associated with the Hollywood Park Tomorrow Development Project.
Move 1 through 5.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. CM 1.
Mayor, there are no city manager comments. Actually, I would like to make one comment.
Well, then there is one comment.
Right, I'm sorry, yeah. I'm so used to saying there's no comments. But the one comment I'd like to make is that there will not be a oversight committee meeting in August, but there will be one in September. Normally, there are individuals in the public who are concerned about what the Oversight Committee is doing, and we will have a pretty generous agenda for September.
Thank you. A1,
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. There was a closed session held as to CS1, closed session confidential conference with labor negotiators under Government Code Section 54957.6A, employee organizations with Service Employees International Union, Inglewood Management Employees Organization, Inglewood Executive Organization, Inglewood Police Officers Association, Inglewood Police Management Association, Inglewood Police Civilian Management Association. Negotiator for the city is Artie Fields, City Manager, and Jack Huffman, Chief Negotiator, Human Resources, Labor Relations Consultant. Discussions were held, however, no final action was taken. There was a closed session held as to CS2, closed session confidential, attorney-client privilege, potential litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9B1, claim of Martin and Chapman Company. Request a motion to approve payment of billing.
So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
There was a closed session held as to CS3, closed session confidential, attorney-client privilege, pending litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9A, workers' compensation claim of Simon Hollis. Request a motion to approve settlement of claim.
So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
There was a closed session held as to CS4, closed session confidential, attorney-client privilege, potential litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9B1, claim of Kane, Balmer, and Berkman. Request a motion to approve payment of billings.
So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
CS5 was pulled. There was a closed session held as to CS6, closed session confidential, attorney-client privilege, potential litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9B1, subrogation claim by Geico Insurance Company for Ruspeth Sethe. Request a motion to settle subrogation claim.
So moved. Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
There was a closed session held as to CS7, closed session confidential, attorney-client privilege, potential litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9B1, claim of Rospeth Sethe. Request a motion to authorize settlement.
So moved.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye.
CS8 was pulled. There was a closed session held as to CS9 and CSA1. Closed session confidential, attorney-client privilege, potential litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9 subsection C, abode Gravilla housing. Discussions were held, however, no final action was taken. And that concludes the reports out of closed session for this evening. And there are no verbal reports, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. CC1.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution amending the fiscal year 2012-13 to transfer funds in order to satisfy various invoices from Martin and Chapman Company for services rendered for April 2013 general municipal election and June 13 municipal runoff election.
So moved. Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales,
Aye.
Franklin,
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. CC2.
And I just would like to report out that I had the honor and privilege of going to 2 block club parties this weekend. And thank you for Councilman Dodson for your hospitality. And it was both of them, Mari Morales and Councilman Dodson's block club party was well attended and really organized, and we had a good time, my husband and I. And I also would like you, Mayor, to close the meeting in memory of Lois Hill. She passed away a couple of days ago, and she was an Inglewood resident, and she also was on the school board for the city of Inglewood. She ran two times and won in 1987 and 1991, and she also was the secretary of House, press secretary actually for the House of Representatives. So if we can close the meeting in memory of her, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much.
CT1, Madam City Treasurer,
Thank you, Mayor.
and welcome back.
Well, thank you. Yeah, just regarding rates, rates continue to be quite low. There are no offers at all in the 1-year period, and they're under 1% for the 2-year period for bonds, and in the 3-year period, the rates are 3.75 to 1.12. And the 4-year, there's basically 1.25 to 1.85. Even in the 5-year, 1.8 to 2%. So the rates continue to be quite low. With regards to the payment of the bills for the month of July, there was the total bills paid was 12.1 for the accounts payable, 12.1 million, and the net payroll was 2.5 for July. The gross payroll was 3.4 million, and the total was $14.7 million. For the month of August, thus far, the total bills paid is 4.6 million, and the net payroll was 1.3. The gross payroll for the month of August is 1.7. And the total bills paid thus far is $5.9 million. And I would like to report that also have a nice little analysis I did on the police department, and their costs are down. General fund they're under. At June 30th, 2012, it was 25.2 million. June 30, 2013, 24.9 million grants program. At June 30th, it was 1.3 million, and grants program for June 30th, 2013 is about 1 million, 1.2 million, 1.0 million. Prop A is 998,000 at June 30, 2013, 796,000. And so the total at June 30 was $27,442,500. At June 30th, at June 2013, is $26,850,800. So basically, they are under $591,700. So this reduced the Department of Costs of Personnel Services spending by 2.1%, or $591,700 to date. And the net cost savings is a combination of some decreases and increases in department spending, as well as grant programs and special fund account spending. So heads off for the police department.
All right.
Now regarding bank failures, they have we have had 18 so far this year, and we had one in August that was one in Wisconsin that was shut down. And that the total assets of that failed bank was $2.2 billion. The loss to the FDIC was $414.7 million. Now, the total banks that have failed since 2007 to date is 486 banks, and the total assets of these failed banks is $696.4 billion. And the loss to the FDIC is $95.9 billion. And now, we still have $11 billion that's unpaid, primarily by the smaller banks. Matter of fact, 28 of them have not been able to pay back their TARP funds and won't be able to pay it back in all probability. And again, as I did attend the National Association of Public Treasurers Conference, and it was held in Houston, Texas, and it must have been 192 degrees here. It was very hot and very humid, and the quality of air was very poor, but it was an excellent conference, and I did enjoy it. But left on Sunday. Didn't get back, so was not able to attend any of the block club meetings. But basically had some excellent sessions, the new faces of fraud and how to thwart them, selecting a primary depository bank, and we're in the process of doing just that, and how to safeguard your municipality from disbursement fraud, an excellent conference, and what's happening at the Federal Home Loan Bank System. And I buy a lot of those types of bonds, and that agency has not had any losses whatsoever. And as you know, Freddie and Fannie, the president has ordered to get rid of both of them, but Fannie has paid back most of the money in dividends, all but about $13 billion. And Freddie, her little brother, has done about half of his, so he still owes quite a lot. But they've paid back, I think, about $38 billion in dividends. And also tax-exempt bond compliance. And also, we had just an excellent session on the process of municipal bond debt issuance. Matter of fact, it was such an excellent session until I picked up some of the session's handouts, which is this, and I got a copy for each of the council members, and the new council members. I think it'll be a very good review for you, and for the existing council members, just kind of review for you, but it was just one of the best I have seen. And also, I have one for you also, city manager. And I'd like to point out also that at this particular conference, I did receive a certification award, Certified Public Funds Administration Officer. I did receive that award at this particular conference. I took a one-day exam, a one-day class, and then took the exam the next day, and of course did pass that. And also for the California organization, I received a certification for that one also. That's the California Municipal Church Association. As my mother says, sometimes if you don't toot your own horn, it might not get tooted.
You should have told me, I'd have done it.
I didn't want to take any chances. Well, anyhow, that concludes my remarks, and it is just a refreshing experience for the first time to give my report and not hear any of those, I got you type, challenges. So anyhow, I certainly appreciate all of you, and it's been really a new and a wonderful experience. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you, Madam City Treasurer. It's public comment time. Any persons wishing to address the City Council on any matter conducted with city business not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time.
Good evening again. Listen, I happened to see a news story this week, and Mayor Butts, you were there and talking to a news reporter about the problems of this city that many of us have been fighting for to get rid of, and that's the marijuana issue. You stated, I think, that there had been some raids on marijuana facilities that were illegal here, and I applaud you and the chief for doing that. However, I think there needs to be some discussion with regard to the public and the thought that the hospital, and I guess they're talking maybe only about Centinela Hospital, but I don't know who else in this city might provide marijuana. It's my thought that if the state says we don't need it, and you're running around raiding people, we don't need it. We don't need it in the hospital, especially since we only have that one hospital here that serves this community. And I've had occasion
Sir.
recently to...
Well, hold on a second. Mr. Sergeant Arms,
Certainly.
would you please... Excuse me, we're going to hold your time. Sir, when you come into the chambers, please don't do that. Go ahead, Mr. Fisher.
Okay, I've lost a few seconds, precious seconds.
I'll
by the
let
way.
you go over.
Thank you, sir. So anyway, my thought, though, was with regard to the hospital. Centinela is working very hard to make their hospital one of the finest to serve a community, and this community in particular. And, I think it would be very easy for them to collect extra money by giving marijuana to those people that have these rights by some doctor giving them that. But, it takes away from this city. And as I stated, I think there needs to be some dialogue and dialogue with the residents of this community with regard to that issue. We don't need marijuana. The state allows it. There's enough of it in this adjoining communities to...
There you go.
Wow. Wow.
Go ahead, Mr. Fisher.
As I was saying, there are enough of these facilities in adjoining communities that you know, let the hospital serve the needs of the community. We only have that one here, and you know, I have recently been in there. I thank goodness that they were here because they served me well with the condition I had. But I don't think that we need that deal there at Sentinel Hospital. I don't know where else it is. I think there ought to be some dialogue about it in the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher.
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Joseph Texera, District 1. I'm asking this council to remove James Butts as council chairperson because as chairperson, he repeatedly and deliberately violates the rules of these meetings for his own benefit. On the white sheet on the meeting agenda, it has the rules for these meetings. Rule number 12 states, the presiding officer, that's the mayor, shall request a person who is breaching the rules of decorum be orderly and silent. If the person persists in disturbing the meeting after receiving a warning, the presiding officer, again the mayor, shall order him to leave the meeting, unquote. Those are the official rules that the council chairperson, the mayor, is legally bound to enforce. And a few months ago, at a council meeting, the mayor made a specific announcement repeating those very rules. However, as we know, this mayor does not mind disregarding the rules. So a few weeks ago, after I and at least 2 other members of the public had used our public comment time for agenda items to talk about payments to a newspaper, the mayor told the public that no one else should talk about newspapers anymore, even though payment to Inglewood Today was on the warrant register. So I said, from the audience, it was on the warrant register. And the mayor said, what? Which is a question. So I repeated, it's on the warrant register because rule number 8, the only bolded rule on the page, states that a member of the public can respond to a question from a council member. And the mayor started to say, sir, if you speak out again, but then he stopped himself mid-sentence and just blatantly violated the rules of these meetings and forced me to leave without a warning. As I was leaving, I pointed out to the mayor that he had not given me a warning yet, and the rules demanded that he give me a warning before forcing me to leave. And what did the mayor say? He tried to trick the public. He said, you've been warned before, as if warning me months ago makes his actions appropriate under the rules. But again, the mayor was not being honest. But what happened the very next week, 2 weeks ago? The mayor completely contradicted himself. He makes a special announcement to the public before public comment saying that if someone speaks out from the audience, he will give them 1 warning, which is what he didn't give me, and then, and only then, make them leave. And during that meeting, he gave 3 warnings to 3 different people, and none of them were forced to leave, even though 2 of the people, just like me, have been given warnings in the past months and years. This proves without a doubt that Mayor James Butts deliberately violates the rules of these meetings based on his own whims, biases, prejudices, and emotional tantrums, and he should be removed as City Council Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Texera.
Okay. Mayor, council people, my name is Derek Blakey, and from 1994 to 2000, I gave business workshops right here in this City Hall and the main library. I'm also a member of the Wellness Dispensary that closed down. And since 2006, from 2006 till now, the operators has conducted themselves in a professional manner. I have never witnessed any soliciting or laundering in front of the business, yet they've been closed several times. So, what I did was investigate the history of the laws against marijuana, which started during the 1930s. And when I wanted to submit a DVD which proves that the law against marijuana was caused by false allegations, just as the laws, the Jim Crow laws of the South during the Old South time. My name is Derek Blakey, and that's all I have to say. I just want to submit it to you.
You can give it to the Sergeant at Arms. Thank you, Mr. Blakey.
Michael Benville, First District, Mr. Mayor, City Council, and staff. I want to bring up a subject that's been raked over for a number of years, And the reason I'm bringing it up, and it's always going to be a bad time because it really involves money, but it's not a whole lot of money. It's just delivering the package to one of our elected officials that's been denied for a number of years. A lot of it's been considered political, and I think it's time that we, since we are a staff here and we are an elected official, council and mayor that is going to make this city right, to give the things that to elected officials that's due to them. The one that I'm talking about is Wanda Brown, our city treasurer, has not been getting the package as most elected officials have been getting here. Her health benefits and that sort of thing has not been granted to her, whereas everyone else has those benefits. I'm bringing that up because it's a time for us to bring it up. We're moving up the right road, and I think it's time that we deal with that situation and get that situation straight. She certainly deserves it. The city hasn't lost a dime. She's protected our city through times where it's been bad, and I think she deserves these things, and it's due to her, just as any other elected official would get them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We close. Well, please come forward, Mr. Brown.
Well, I am. Absolutely. It does take a couple seconds to get out the door. And since you don't allow people in this room to actually ask a question like where on the agenda are we or anything else without throwing them out, as we just experienced, yeah, some of us stay on the other side of the door. So yes, it will take a few seconds to get in. But with regard to the statements that were just made, I'm going to remind everybody that most of you are very well compensated, greater than almost any other council in the state. And unfortunately, our city doesn't look quite as nice as some of those other cities across the South Bay. I would encourage people to go check out the other communities. It seems that a lot of my neighbors just are in that delusion that we're just like everywhere else. Of course, the LA Times online is doing that wonderful homicide report. That's not particularly flattering when we look at that report. Of course, it's also true that if you go online and check out the Department of Justice or California Finance Department or, who is it? HUD, those pictures of what we are to the rest of the world are not particularly flattering. Somehow it seems that you want us to believe that life is just, well, as one of the residents who always gets up here and says, beautiful. To me, that's a lot like the frog in the beaker as the heat is turned up. I think everyone has heard that illustration, that over time we're cooked. And I think we're quickly getting there. Because when we keep chasing Madison Square Gardens and Hollywood Park without listening to what the residents of this community say, you might be pleasing the out-of-towners. But chances are, when you go to the ballot box for that assembly district race, you probably won't find the votes of the people that live in this community, except for those who worked for others to make sure that other guy never came back and got him elected somewhere else. I think we all know who that is. You should be trying to make the people of this community who are here today pleased with your performance, rather than working your hardest to insult us on a continuous basis.
Gil Matthew, District 4, Mayor and City Council. We have two projects going in the city, which is good. However, this council has to take responsibility for the financial condition of the city. October 1st is the fiscal year. 45 days from now, we have a budget that has to be approved. Now, I've been asking for the third quarter report. It's 2 weeks in August. It hasn't happened. We only have 45 days. You don't even have a draft budget for the residents to consider. I mean, this kumbaya and everything is fine. You're on a slippery slope, okay? And I'm asking questions. I want to know. Now, you have $18 million in escrow. I've asked What is the source of those funds? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Is the money there with no interest? And in fact, is it any successor agency money? Because if it is, you on a slippery slope on it being approved by the Department of Finance. You can shake your head, and all the rest of that. We used to that. But Mr. Mayor, I would tell you, your source of funds are Series 2007-18 Series bonds, okay? You have reallocation excess funds of $6 million. You have 5% exception funds. You have taxable reserve funds. It totals $18 million. It's all on the internet. Why you don't know it, I have no idea. You have a top chief financial officer and the 2 new members. Your duty is to ask questions. You are directors of a municipality. And if you can't accept the responsibility or don't understand what it is, I think you better get an attorney and ask somebody. Okay? Because it is the law. You must ask questions. A prudent person must ask questions. You're responsible for this city. And we need a budget study. We need a third quarter report. You're on the slippery slope, you're broke, okay? And you can kumbaya and sing all you want, all the concerts, all the singing and dancing, but brother, the party is over.
Ethel Austin, I just came to ask the council, why is it the July 30th meeting is not on YouTube? It's on Mike Falco telephone, but then why isn't that we can't pick it up? The 30th meeting is not, I tried at home, several of us is trying to pick it up at home. I tried and we got the same type of phone and I can't pick it up. So maybe you hooked up with the city internet, because we can't get it at home, and we tried over and over and over. To
order the council meeting.
Oh, sorry about that,
Okay,
Mayor.
thank you.
This is not the 31st, though.
Okay, thank you.
That's all I wanted to ask you. Could you see that we could get it on? And also about I wanted to know how far we getting on the La Brea project with the street. I went by that Sunday, and it doesn't look like they're doing anything but watering the dirt. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you could update us.
Okay.
Thank you.
My name is Willie A.G., and I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood and proud of it. First, I want to congratulate this council for taking care of the city's business in a reasonable length of time. I just love it. I have sat here in this chamber till 3 o'clock in the morning and got absolutely nothing done. I've been here for 1 hour, and the city's business has been taken care of. I sit here all night and argue, You do your work before you come here. Next, I want to piggyback on what Mr. Bimbo said. I really think that all our elected people should be treated the same. And I can say this, and I think you back me up on this. We got one of the best treasurers in the United States, and I really appreciate it. I support the mayor of this city. I support Willie Brown's Inglewood today. I support park development. If the naysayers can't see what's going on in this city, if Ray Charles was alive, he could see it. I pay taxes
Any dollar of my taxes go to Willie Brown's Inglewood today. It's perfectly all right with me. Mayor, you're gonna be reelected as many times as you want to be. Don't pay any attention to the naysayers. Thank you for taking over this chamber and putting rules where they're supposed to be. You're a solid man, you got solid support behind you, and I support you 200%. Don't pay any attention to the naysayers. They don't know any better. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Agius. Okay, we'll close public comment. Council comment, Councilman Dotson, District 1.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I also had a wonderful Saturday, because it started at 7:30. I was able to go to the iClean event that they had over on Redondo Boulevard between West and Florence. I want to comment and commend them for a great time over there, and with Mr. Franklin and his 20 volunteers and the Marinetta Community Church. They really came together, and if you want to see a lot that's very clean, take a ride over on Redondo and look at that lot now. I wish you could have seen it before they started, but they really did a wonderful job. The people had fun. The kids that were out there, they had a good time, and they want to now do it every quarter. So if you have a project that you'd like iClean to take over, please contact them, and they'll get a group together and come out and clean your project. And it was a wonderful thing that they did, and I thank them very much, and I wanted to comment them on that.
Thank you. Councilman Padilla, District 2.
Thank you, Mayor. Kind of to piggyback what Councilman Dotson just discussed, as you know, about a month ago, we partnership with iClean and approved the program for the city to help us keep our community clean and to beautify different parts of our city. In line with that, on Saturday, August 24th, in District 2, we're going to team up with iClean as well as with Consolidated Disposal Service at our ICOP Center and clean La Brea and Centinela, and also do some disposal of any sofas or large furniture in that area. This is one of many programs that all the council members are taking part of. The iClean staff is to be commended for their commitment, and I encourage any of you out there that would like to participate in this program to please come over to the ICOP Center on Saturday, August 24th. Make sure you have closed-toed shoes on so you can help us go out there and keep our community clean. On another note, as I mentioned earlier by the city clerk, I want to commend Mari Morales and OFA, the One for All Foundation, for a very excellent community event that was held this past Saturday. And it was really good to see all parts of our community and even residents from outside of Inglewood that came by to be a part of something good in our city. As it relates to some of the shopping and stores and being able to come into Inglewood to spend your money, we have some very good businesses here in our community, and I strongly encourage you to please shop locally as much as you can. We have to continue to support our businesses here in Inglewood so they can continue to be a success. With that, thank you, have a good night, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you. Councilman Morales, District 3.
Thank you. First, I'd just like to knock out some of the comments over there. The La Brea project, I have to commend our Public Works and obviously our contractor that's moving quite rapidly and with minimal intrusion to the businesses. I've actually walked the street over between Arbor Vitae and Century Boulevard just to kind of get a feel for what's going on. Obviously, they've noticed what's going on. They appreciate the fact that, folks are keeping it as clean as possible during construction, and they're letting the traffic flow through as well as areas to park. So for us, it's a big deal, long overdue. It's gonna stretch all the way to the end of 104th, which is our borderline. If Louis Atwell is here, he could come out and use my last 30 seconds just to give a timeline, because I personally think are we ahead of schedule? Because it appears we are, right?
Yes, we are, and I think the project's going to be finished in October.
Yeah, and it was expected to go longer, so that's great. And then I wanted to mention, somebody mentioned Centinela Hospital, and I'd been forgetting to mention the fact that, I don't know if anybody knows, but they've actually been ranked one of the top 100 hospitals for the last, number of years, right? Ever since they've started their movement. They're doing tremendous construction. The facility over there will be first class. It's something great for actually the city of Inglewood. So I'm sure there'll be something coming out in terms of promoting all that. The iClean program, we've done cleanups here a variety of times. I know me and Mr. Franklin we used to do them sometimes together, sometimes apart. That is a tremendous way to create community harmony. I mean, the kids come out, they actually enjoy cleaning up. So I want to thank staff for doing that. And I have to say that the time, I guess a couple of weeks ago when we voted on, I think, T-shirts or something like that, I mean, there was folks who saw that as something that wasn't worthy of our support. And sometimes, believe me, it's okay to be happy with what's going on good in the city of Inglewood. There's a lot of good things. We have some issues we still have to take care of. But I have to say, in the past 10 years, the movement that's happening in the business community that's moving and the investors that are coming in with interest, I've never seen this before. I have never seen it, and it's something to be happy about. Lastly, I want to just talk about Ms. Lois Hale, the Honorable Ms. Hale, who back then, I walked for her back when I was a teenager. I remember when she was running, she did a lot to help the folks that needed fields to play on be allowed to use some of the fields at the schools, and it impacted a lot of kids in my neighborhood through that soccer league. You guys know my dad helped create, and she was one of the folks that helped him. So I wanted to mention that and thank her, and may she rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Franklin, District 4.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. First of all, the mayor had acknowledged on a previous occasion, and I've announced that I was the chairman of the South Bay City Council of Government, and as the immediate past chair, I reached out trying to come up with new ways on how cities can be identified. I'm proud to announce that as I departed, the first edition did come out to identify that they're now showcasing cities. And Inglewood was the city that was showcased, and it's entitled "For Inglewood, Entrepreneurship Turns Challenges to Opportunities." Fiscal challenges are nothing new for California cities, but only one city's entrepreneur solution has not only made a significant and beneficial difference to its bottom line, but also has helped more than 60 sister cities in California beyond by providing innovative and cost-effective products and services through the government-to-government model. And the City of Inglewood was recognized for the Inglewood Citation Management Services. And please let the staff know of the Parking and Enterprise Service Department. I have provided extra copies for those in the back if you want further details about that. In addition to that, I want to give shout out to Mauri Morales on One for All outreach, that it was not just a block party, it was recognition for the students of all the elementary schools in the Inglewood Unified School District for having good grades. And they brought their grade cards to the booth, received special, let's call them monopoly type money, that allowed them to then exchange them for different school supplies, et cetera, in addition to having the regular fiesta event of the food. And Councilman Alex Padilla, thank you for your gracious skills on the grill as he handled the hot dogs for everyone. And then I moved on to the 4th Avenue Block Club, where not only did we have the Honorable George Dotson there, but Sam Cunningham, or I call him Sam Bam Cunningham from USC, that helped spearhead it, a very successful event. And it was an outstanding experience for both of those, because it was a community of unity, and it was welcomed, particularly all of those that were in attendance. And then finally, I want to make three comments. One is, the mayor, wish you a belated happy birthday. I won't give his age. He'll do that. And then also, I just want to reach out to my wife. Tomorrow we will be celebrating our 40th, that's 40 wedding anniversary. And that it's a blessing. I love her. She's my best friend. And Lois Hill Hell, you will be dearly missed. Thanks, everyone.
I may take a little extra time today. First, I want to, usually I don't answer anything Mr. Matthews says because it's incomprehensible, but you know, and you must know, that 18 million was approved as a redevelopment ROPS, that it's money that couldn't be used by the city, and it is an escrow, and it's already been approved. So stop trying to convince people there's something bad about the Madison Square Garden project. Mr. Atwell and Mr. Frisbee are doing a tremendous job in Public Works, and the La Brea project is ahead of schedule, Ms. Austin, and it's doing just fine. As far as medical marijuana, we have long had an ordinance that prohibits its sale outside of a clinical in-house medical facility, and that's for a reason. In my experience, and I agree, I didn't create the ordinance, but we have enforced it steadily for the last 2 years, and the reason we do is because we feel that it has the potential to breed violence and illicit sales. We're not saying that the operators in the city have violated, criminal laws. That's not what we're saying at all. And I recognize, and the council recognizes, there are people that have a legitimate medical need, and that's why it's permissible inside a residential in-house facility. There have been 10 murders in the last 5 years, primarily in Los Angeles, in or around the premises of transactional medical marijuana dispensaries. We're not going to say that would happen here, but we don't want to take the chance. So while we recognize people's right and need to have the medicines of their choice, in this city you have to do it in-house. When we enforced, we ran into an injunction that enjoined us before the Supreme Court had made their decision. The injunction was listed, and we continue with our enforcement. So there's nothing different now that hasn't occurred all along. And I definitely recognize people's right to have the medicine they need, but we just won't do it over the counter here. Met with Dr. Braun, the new state administrator of the district. We had a good talk. He recognizes the problems in the district. We need him to succeed, and we intend to embrace him and work as collaboratively as we can to try and improve the situation in our schools. We had a wonderful press conference on July 30th, 2013 at the Forum. There were over 75 news outlets. We were covered on channels 2, 4, 7, 9, 11, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News Channel. For the first time ever, the city of Inglewood was on the front page of the LA Times. In the same week, the front page of the LA Sentinel, the front page of the Wave, and the front page of the Inglewood Today, most importantly. It's just difficult. It's difficult. It must be difficult for people that are just so unhappy to continue this charade that there isn't anything good to talk about. It's okay to have synergy and to embrace what is going on here. Most everyone, reasonable people, understand there's a different vibration in the city, and we're moving forward. We have 2 major projects. We have jobs, and our property values have increased 12% in the last year. It's time to embrace what's going on here. I'm proud to be part of this council. I'm proud of our city clerk, our city treasurer, our city manager. You've got our workforce now rowing in the same direction, and I want to thank everyone. Mr. City Attorney told me that our police liability exposure has dropped dramatically this year, about to the tune of about 1.6 million. Homicide rate is dramatically lower. We've had 6 homicides this year. I don't remember in my 41-year association with the city ever seeing less than double-digit homicides by the summer. and we have 6 homicides so far this year. So I want to congratulate the police department. And I want to close the meeting in memory of Louis Hill Hell, a wonderful woman. I spent time working with her before I left for that work-study program in '91. We're adjourned.